Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now November 28th of 2021, and we are only getting very much closer to the release of the Book of Boba Fett, which is, by the way, going to have a lot of major connections to the Mandalorian Season 3 and other Star Wars TV shows out there that's going to become a part of the mandoverse at large by Jon, George, and Dave. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, I am on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow on there. I do post a couple of fun and entertaining things on there from time to time and interact with you guys further. So we're now in a very interesting phase of Star Wars, given that, of course, Jon and Dave are really doing everything in their power to really steer things in the right direction for the future of the Star Wars universe by really kind of bringing Star Wars Legends back into the mix, really creating this major comeback of Star Wars Legends characters to be thrown into the mandoverse and other eras of the Star Wars universe that's going to be applied to the overall roadmap of the franchise. Now, Star Wars Celebration of 2022, in case you guys did not know, by this May, of course, that's when we're going to get a lot of those major announcements by Disney CEO Bob Chapek and everybody else out there of who's going to be connected to the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars films, the books, novels, and comics. That's really going to all interconnect with each other to really make up this brand new universe as well. So, the thing about all of this is that we already know that The Mandalorian Season 3 is well underway of filming. They're moving along very smoothly. In fact, a lot of significant scenes are about to be filmed this January. That's going to include many of the fan favorite characters that we all know and love. And not just that, we also know that everything related to the Ahsoka Tano series that's going to begin filming more so around the spring of 2022. Rosario Dawson is already really training for the role of Ahsoka once again to really get back in shape and to really kind of really do even all the more incredible scenes than what she did in Mando Season 2. So with that being said, given that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to work on the Ahsoka Tano series for Disney Plus that will debut in 2023, both Disney and Lucasfilm are also getting ready to actually make their big announcements at Star Wars Celebration next year. However, one major scene that is going to begin filming sometime in late 22 for the 4th season of The Mandalorian is set to involve both Luke Skywalker and his nephew Ben Solo. That is going to be the highlight of the 4th season to create a time jump of sorts to explore the life of Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Master, and including his nephew into his Jedi Academy. Now, further, it's described that the scene is set to entail a full-fledged sequence in which Luke Skywalker is going to introduce Ben Solo to his father's melted helmet, and that Jon Favreau is trying to set things up of how Ben Solo got to see Darth Vader's helmet for the very first time. Aside from his training session between Luke and Ben is also actually planned to be filmed sometime late next year that will involve both Luke and Ben Solo engaging in a lightsaber duel to train. Many of the storyboards and concept art is already in the works for this scene and is said to be final, and what actually, of course, is going to be used for the sets of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple for the 4th season that will begin construction in the summer of 2022. Of course, before they begin filming in the winter. Both Jon and Dave have actually had big plans for bringing in Ben Solo so that they can actually reach their maximum potential to explore the Skywalker and Solo family. Another important scene that Lucasfilm is planning to do is to showcase the construction of Ben Solo's lightsaber hilt and the origin of his kyber crystal that will be explored in the 4th season of Mando as well. This is where Jon and Dave want to really jump into the Star Wars lore to really take advantage of what was lightly explored in the comics. Apart from both, of course, Jon and Dave working on this so heavily and how they have been moving forward with a plan to include the Knights of Ren to fight both Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo in the 4th season, where this time the Knights are set to use a series of red-bladed lightsabers against the two. This is something that J.J. Abrams originally wanted to do for of course, the Knights in the sequel trilogy movies. However, both Jon and Dave are now moving forward to change them in order to make them more, of course, dark side oriented for both Luke and Ben Solo to go up against in the 4th season of Mando, to really expand what was lightly touched in the comics. Now, in addition to this as well, we already know that Jon and Dave are also going to choose the final decision of who will play Ben Solo sometime during the summer of 2022 in order to get a head start. And that, of course, is how they actually now have 3 different actors on their list to choose from, one of which is said to be Finn Wolfhard of Ghostbusters Afterlife. However, each actor represents a different age range for Ben Solo, and depends on exactly what the time jump will be for the 4th season that will lead to such a decision of who will actually portray Ben Solo in The Mandalorian. So here's the thing about all of this, alright? This is a very interesting way to go about doing things with the Knights of Ren by John, George, and Dave. You guys may recall that in the early concept art of The Force Awakens and early drafts of the script, they really wanted to explore the Knights of Ren as these Jedi killers in a sense, really giving them the ability to actually meddle with the Force and to use lightsaber blades. In fact, if you go all the way back to the art book, there is one particular Knight of Ren that has like a couple of lightsaber blades on him. So what they're trying to do now is that they're trying to take inspiration from the canon comics that showcase the Knights of Ren going against Ben and Luke, and now they're kind of changing things here and there to really make the Knights a little bit more interesting than just these villains that use pretty much medieval-esque weapons, right? Pretty much that's all they have. You know, when you look at them, they really aren't all that intimidating when you're facing somebody else with a lightsaber. It's not, right? So, we all saw what they were up against in The Rise of Skywalker. They had no contest, alright? Pretty much Ben Solo was able to take the Knights of Ren down one by one with no problem because of that reason. So now what they're trying to do, both John and Dave, they really want to create all these different scenes for both Luke and Ben Solo to interact. Between the training session, Luke introducing Darth Vader's helmet to Ben Solo, as well as a fighting sequence for the Knights of Ren going up against Luke and of course Ben Solo. Now, these 3 particular scenes are going to be the highlights of what's being planned for the 4th season of Mando. We've gone over this before a couple of days ago, that the 4th season of The Mandalorian is going to hold a brand new title. So it could very well be something, for example, The Mandalorian and blank. It could actually have an extension of that title, or it could be something completely different that's going to still be considered the 4th season. So that's what John and Dave are trying to do. They're trying to kind of rebrand The Mandalorian after Season 3 to kind of do something different. You know, it's kind of like other franchises that hold their name but add an extra title to the end. That's what John and Dave want to do with The Mandalorian. Whether or not that's a good business move, we'll have to wait and find out. Overall, I think the fact that they are exploring all these fan-favorite characters like Ahsoka, Luke, Ben Solo, Anakin, and others out there like Ezra Bridger and Thrawn, you can see that they're on a roll. I mean, all these projects that John and Dave are attached to, it's really outweighing of what Kathleen Kennedy is doing with the Acolyte TV series by Leslye Headland. They really have no comparison in my book. You know, I do agree that we have not seen a shred of footage of the Acolyte series, so we can't judge it completely just yet, but based on what Leslye Headland said about the show, of how it is going to have a lot of real-world issues thrown in there, it doesn't really sound like it's going to be very authentic to the fans. Doesn't really sound like it's coming from somebody that's very, I guess you could say, passionate about the franchise and the brand itself. So you're going to kind of see through that. You're going to really realize exactly how it's not true to the overall franchise at heart. So, like I've said before, you know, let me know what you think about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to